Good morning, everybody. It is the end of the week. It's Friday. Can you believe it? Gosh, this week is just like flown by. I'm Sophie, and welcome to Storytime. Today is Foodie Friday. Not Food Friday, Foodie Friday. And what does it mean to be a foodie? It means that you are a person who loves to either eat and enjoy food or make and share food. So today is called Foodie Friday, and it's all about those tasty treats that we love to eat. So let's get started with some Shel Silverstein, shall we? You know, he is my favorite poet author. Here he is, Where the Sidewalk Ends, and this is called Sky Seasoning. A piece of sky broke off and fell through the crack in my ceiling, right into my soup. Ker-plop. I really must state that I usually hate lentil soup, but I ate every drop. Delicious, delicious, a bit like plaster, but so delicious, goodness sakes, I could have eaten a lentil soup lake. It's amazing the difference a bit of sky can make. Now, there is no picture. However, I think that the images that it creates are quite magnificent, isn't it? Could you imagine putting a little bit of sky seasoning into your food? Well, you could. Just look on up and take a big swallow of that beautiful sky. Well, let's get started and say hello. Let's everybody wave hello. Hello, how are you all? Hello, how are you all? Hello, how are you? I'm just fine today. I'm glad to see you here today. I'm glad to see you here today. I'm glad to see you here today. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, let's rub our tummy like we're going yum yum. Do you know what I mean by that? Like rub it round and round like you're going yum yum. Here we go. Rub your tummy and go yum yum. Rub your tummy and go yum yum. Rub your tummy and go yum yum. I'm so glad to see you. Ooh, that was good. Okay, so what else can we do? Let's smack our lips. Let's go. Smack your lips like you're eating something tasty. Smack your lips like you're eating something tasty. Smack your lips like you're eating something tasty. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, let's see. Oh, sometimes we get such a full tummy. So let's pat our tummy. Pat your fat, full tummy. Pat your tummy, 1, 2, 3, and pat your tummy along with me. And pat your tummy, 1, 2, 3. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, let's make some funny faces like we're eating things. So let's suck up some spaghetti like this. And then let's lick our lips. And then how about if we open our mouth really, really wide to take a big bite. Here we go. Okay, so first we're going to make some funny faces like this. Make a funny face, funny as you can, and make a funny face, funny as you can, and make a funny face, funny as you can. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, you guys, let's wave hello and get our day started. Hello, how are you all? Hello, how are you all? Hello, how are you? I'm just fine today. Very good, you guys. All right, let's get started with our stories. So I have a brand new story that's new to me. It has come to me from my good friends Lillian and Gabriella and their mother Rosanna. And it is called If You Give a Pig a Pancake. Now, if you've been following me, I read If You Give a Moose a Muffin and If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, but I have never read If You Give a Pig a Pancake. And this is by Laura Numeroff with illustrations by Felicia Bond. And look at that piggy. Isn't he the cutest? I love piggies. I love piggies almost as much as dogs. When I grew up and was a little child, I lived on a farm that had piggies. If you give a pig a pancake. Look at that little pig. He's going for a hike. And this says, once again for Stephen and for Laura Geringer, with love and eternal gratitude. Let's take a look at that little piggy. If You Give a Pig a Pancake, by Laura Numeroff, illustrated by Felicia Bond. Oh, now look at that piggy. He's peeking in the window there. If you give a pig a pancake, oh, he's crawling in the window for that pancake. She'll want some syrup to go with it. She's being very polite, isn't she? Sitting in that window. And you'll give her some of your maple syrup. Oh, look, she's dancing. And she'll probably get all sticky. I know I get sticky whenever I eat maple syrup. So she'll want to take a bath. Oh, look at her running up those stairs. It's like a ballerina pig. And she'll ask you for some bubbles. I mean, because what's a bath without bubbles, right? And when you give her the bubbles, she'll probably ask you for a toy. And you'll have to find your rubber duck. Oh, look at those bubbles in the back. Can you see a little piggy with the bubbles in the back there? The duck will remind her of the farm where she was born. And she might feel homesick and want to visit her family. Aww. And that duck's making her sad. So she'll want you to come too. And she'll look through your closet for a suitcase. Oh my goodness. Did you ever notice that all these animals in these stories make huge messes? And then she'll look under your bed. And when she's under your bed, she'll find your old tap shoes. Oh my goodness. I wonder if she's looking under JC's bed. JC likes to tap dance. She'll take them on, and she'll probably need something special to wear with them. And look, she's getting all dressed up. And when she's all dressed up, she'll ask for some music. And of course she's going to ask for music, right? And you'll play your very best piano piece, and she'll start dancing. Look at those tap shoes going. And then she'll want you to take her picture. Look how strong she is. That's a very strong pig. So you'll have to go get your camera. And when she sees the picture, it's a good picture, isn't it? She'll ask you to take some more. And then she'll want you to send one to each of her friends. And you'll have to give her some envelopes and stamps. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of pictures they took. And take her to the mailbox. And on the way, she'll see the tree in your backyard. And she'll want to build a tree house. This is a very inventive piggy. So you'll have to get some wood, a hammer, and some nails. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of work. And when the tree house is finished, whoa, look at this tree house. She's going to want to decorate it. She even made a rocking chair and a mailbox and a planter. My goodness. And she'll ask for some wallpaper and glue. I like that she has a little pulley system. And when she hangs the wallpaper, she'll get all sticky. Putting up wallpaper will certainly make you sticky. And feeling sticky will remind her of your favorite maple syrup. And she'll probably ask you for some. And chances are if she asks for some syrup, you know what's coming, guys? She'll want a pancake to go with it. And that's If You Give a Pig a Pancake by Laura Numeroff with illustrations by Felicia Bond. Well, I don't have a song about pancakes. I should have a song about pancakes, but I don't have a song about pancakes. But what I do have is a song about another pea food, and that is peanut butter. This one I'm not going to use the guitar for. This one I'm going to do some hand motions, and I hope that you will join me. It goes like this. Peanut, peanut butter, and jelly. Peanut, peanut butter, and jelly. First you take your peanuts and you crack them. You crack them, you crack them, crack them, crack them for your peanut, peanut butter, and jelly. Peanut, peanut butter, and jelly. Then you take the peanuts and you smoosh them. You smoosh them, you smoosh them, smoosh them, smoosh them for your peanut, peanut butter, and jelly. Peanut, peanut butter, and jelly. Then you take your bread and you spread it. You spread it. You spread it, spread it, spread it for your peanut, peanut butter, and jelly. Peanut, peanut butter, and jelly. Then you take the grapes and you pick them. You pick them. You pick them, pick them, pick them for your peanut, peanut butter, and jelly. Peanut, peanut butter, and jelly. Then you take your grapes and you smoosh them, smoosh them, smoosh them, smoosh them, smoosh them for your peanut, peanut butter, and jelly. Peanut, peanut butter, and jelly. Then you take the bread and you spread it, you spread it, you spread it, spread it, spread it for your peanut, peanut butter, and jelly. Peanut, peanut butter, and jelly. Then you take your sandwich and you bite it. That's a silly song, isn't it, right? Peanut butter and jelly. There's another one called Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Anybody who likes peanut butter and jelly as much as I do can give me a big high five. I love peanut butter. Maybe not jelly, but I love peanut butter. Well, speaking of love, food is one of those things for people who like to cook, is a way of expressing love. And I want to read you this amazing book. It's called Minette's Feast. Now, I have to tell you, this is dedicated to Shelby. Shelby has a kitty cat, and I have been promising that I would get a story about a kitty cat for Shelby. And I was walking down the street the other day, literally, and there was a box of books. And they were all grown-up books, except for this one that was sitting on the top. And it's called Minette's Feast. And can you see what's on there? There's a pussycat. That's right. That's a little pussycat or a kitty cat. And this is by Susanna Reich with illustrations by Amy Bates. And what's really wonderful about this story is this is the story of Julia Childs and her cat. Julia Childs is a very, very famous chef who brought French cooking to America. This is called Minette's Feast. I just love these pictures. Beautiful. Oh, and there she is. There's the little pussycat. That's Minette. Minette's Feast, a delicious story of Julia Child and her cat by Susanna Reich with illustrations by Amy Bates. Look at that kitty cat. Doesn't she look happy? This is dedicated in memory to my grandmother, Anita Reich, who showed me how to love cats, and to Tigger, Don Quixote, Boobala, Fluffy, and Chloe. I think those must be cats. And for Alex, the coolest cat I know. There is a very famous French poster of a cat in this pose, and I think that might be what they're drawing. Isn't that great? That's the kitty cat. Minette Mimosa McWilliams Child. Let me try that again. Minette Mimosa McWilliams Child was a very lucky cat. Perhaps the luckiest cat in all of Paris. Day and night she could hear the bells of St. Clotilde tolling the hour. And day and night she could smell the delicious smells of mayonnaise and hollandaise and cassoulets and cheese soufflés and duck pâtés wafting from the pots and pans of her owner, Julia Child. But life had not always been like this for Minette. Oh, no, 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 not at all. Several years earlier, Julia Child had moved to Paris with her husband, Paul. They had no children, nor did they have any pets, but they had each other. And every weekend, arm in arm, they wandered down the cobblestone streets, poking into little shops and peeking into hidden courtyards. And every time they went out for a walk, they enjoyed a fine, fine meal. They nibbled croissants in cafes where cats curled on chairs. And they munched on baguettes in bistros where birds warbled in cages. And they dined on rolls in restaurants where little white poodles nestled at ladies' feet. "You are the butter to my bread," Paul told Julia. Julia and Paul's apartment was dark and so cold in the winter that they had to wear coats in the living room. There were birds on the windowsills and mice in the walls, and the kitchen was up a narrow flight of stairs, and there was no refrigerator, only an icebox. But this was home, and Julia and Paul warmed it with their family and friends. There was only one thing missing. Can you guess what that one thing is? Now, this is French, so I've written it out so that I can read it. Une maison sans chat, c'est la vie sans soleil. A house without a cat is like a life without sunshine. And so Julia and Paul adopted Minette, a mischievous, energetic pussycat with a lovely speckled coat. Or, shall we say, Minette adopted Julia and Paul. Julia and Paul were charmed by Minette's delicate whiskers and her superior nose and her quick little paws. Here was a cat who thoroughly enjoyed life's many pleasures, long naps, soft laps, and, of course, lunch. But for Minette, no ordinary meal would do. Like any self-respecting French cat, Minette wouldn't dream of eating food out of a can. What a thrill to pounce on an unsuspecting bird! How delightful to crunch the fresh-caught mouse devouring on the living room rug. Let me show you that picture real quick there. She's what we would call a mouser. Julia spent many mornings at the marketplace, buying meats from the Les Bouchers, bread from La Boulanger, milk and cheese from La Crinière, and cake from La Pâtisserie. Afterwards, she'd make a splendid lunch for herself and Paul and offer Minette the leftovers. Minette might even take a nibble. But of course, mouse and bird were much preferred. Sometimes the nice old fish lady at the marketplace gave Julia luscious fish heads for Minette. Julia would cook them up in a pot, and perhaps she'd add a dollop of scrumptious chicken-livered custard. Can you see, though, what's happening here? Okay, so there's Julia at the market. But look, what is Minette doing? Oh, she's turning her little kitty cat nose up into the air. Minette might even take a nibble, but it seemed that mouse and bird were really much preferred. Can you see poor Julia there? Oh, dear. She found yet another mouse in her kitchen, being crunched up. Julia was determined to improve her cooking, and so she went to the marketplace for advice. At the vegetable stand, an old lady showed her how to tell good potatoes from a bad one. And at the supply store, Julia bought enough knives to fill a pirate ship. She carted home a giant cookbook, and she even learned how to stir 2 pots at the same time. Minette was not impressed. And so Julia signed up for classes at La Cordon Bleu, the famous cooking school, where Chef Bougnard, the teacher, taught her to slice and dice and mince and chop, and she paid close attention. "I have never taken anything so seriously," she later wrote. "Husband and cat accepted." At home, Minette took her job seriously too. She perfected her hunting skills by chasing a Brussels sprout tied to a string. Can you imagine? There she is, chasing a Brussels sprout. What a funny little toy for a cat. As the months passed, Julia became quite the gourmet cook. She baked and blanched and blended and boiled and drained and dried and dusted and fried. She floured and flipped and pitted and plucked and rinsed and roasted and sizzled and simmered. And when she wasn't trimming and toasting or topping, she was washing and whipping and whisking. At Julia's feet, Minette purred with contentment. The smells were heavenly, the tastes delightful. Still, there was Mouse. One chilly fall morning, Julia decided to test a new recipe. Perhaps it would even be better than Mouse. She went to the marketplace and bought a special cut of meat, and then she rubbed it with salt and pepper and showered it with herbs and spices. Then she placed it on the windowsill and waited for the flavors to develop. For 3 days, Minette waited too. Finally, the meat was ready to cook, and Julia eased it into a pan, tucked some vegetables around it, and popped the pan in the oven. The meat bubbled and spat, and when it was done, Julia proudly carried the platter into the table. "Ooh la la! Magnifique!" You like how Minette has a special place at the table? For 3 days, Julia and Paul feasted on the leftovers, while Minette waited for a nibble. When Julia finally laid the platter on the floor, bits of meat still clung to the bone. "Would you like to try this, pussycat?" said Julia. Minette crept up to the plate. She sniffed, she twitched, and then she pounced. "Ooh la la! Magnifique!" Look, there she is. Oh, look, she's taking a pounce. Magnifique! Minette attacked that bone, gnawed it, and chewed it, and rolled around with it on the floor. She frisked and flounced and darted and batted. She tipped and hopped and danced and pranced. She jumped and rolled and curled and stretched and raced and ran and gurgled and purred. And then she licked herself all over and took a nice long nap. I think Julia finally found something that Minette liked. Minette Mimosa McWilliams' child was a very lucky cat. Perhaps the luckiest cat in all of Paris. She lived upstairs in an old gray house 1 block from the River Seine. Day and night she could hear the bells of Saint Clotilde tolling the hour. And day and night she could smell the delicious smells of mayonnaise and hollandaise and cassoulets and cheese soufflés, duck pâtés wafting from the pots and pans of her owner, Julia Child. Bon appétit, Minette. Still, there would always be Mouse. And that is the story of Minette's Feast, the delicious story of Julia Child and her cat. And I want to show you the picture. This is Julia with her cat. And Julia Child was a very interesting woman. She did some very interesting things. And she didn't really find her passion until she was in her 40s. What I love about this book is, if you don't read French, like I don't read French, I'm not very good with French, it has a glossary with the pronunciations so that you can learn how to say that. And that's why I have written the pronunciations in the book, so that I can learn when I read this again. So this is a really exciting book, you guys. It's called Minette's Feast by Susanna Reich with illustrations by Amy Bates. And can you believe I found this in a box that somebody was giving away on the street for free? So there you go, Shelby, a story about cats. All right, let's sing a little song about a street. It goes like this. Do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man? Do you know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane? Well, yes, I know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. Yes, I know the Muffin Man, he lives on Drury Lane. Well, do you know the Ice Cream Man, the Ice Cream Man, the Ice Cream Man? Do you know the Ice Cream Man who lives on Drury Lane? Yes, I know the Ice Cream Man, the Ice Cream Man, the Ice Cream Man. Yes, I know the Ice Cream Man, he lives on Drury Lane. Ah, but do you know the Fruit Stand Man, the Fruit Stand Man, the Fruit Stand Man? Do you know the Fruit Stand Man who lives on Drury Lane? Of course I know the Fruit Stand Man, the Fruit Stand Man, the Fruit Stand Man. Of course I know the Fruit Stand Man, he lives on Drury Lane. Oh, but do you know the Popcorn Man, the Popcorn Man, the Popcorn Man? Do you know the Popcorn Man who lives on Rosewood Lane? Rosewood Lane? I don't know the Popcorn Man, the Popcorn Man, the Popcorn Man. I don't know the Popcorn Man, 'cause I live on Drury Lane. But yes, I know the Muffin Man and the Ice Cream Man and the Fruit Stand Man. Yes, I know the Muffin Man, 'cause they live on Drury Lane. It's good for you to know the people that live around you, isn't it? It's good to know your neighbors. It's always good to know your neighbors. At least to wave hello to them. Say, have a good day. Especially when you're wearing a mask. Okay, well, I have one last story for you. And that is from A.A. Milne's When We Were Very Young, with decorations by Ernest H. Shepard. And this is not about food, although it sounds like it is, because it is called Brownie. Now, if you're like me, you like brownies. Brownies are very, very tasty, especially if they have peanut butter on the top of them. But this is not about a brownie that you would eat. It's about a different kind of brownie. And I'll show you the picture. A brownie is another name for a type of fairy. And if you believe in fairies like I do, maybe someday you'll see a brownie. In a corner of the bedroom is a great big curtain. Someone lives behind it, but I don't know who. I think it is a brownie, but I'm not quite certain. Nanny isn't certain, too. I looked behind the curtain, but he went so quickly. Brownies never wait to say, "How do you do?" They wrinkle off at once because they're so tickly. Nanny says they're tickly, too. And there he is, the little brownie. So that's Brownie from When We Were Very Young by A.A. Milne, with decorations by Ernest H. Shepard. Well, everybody, if you can believe it, it's time for a tasty goodbye. Well, I hope you guys all had a great week. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And if you need more Sophie, you can go to my website, www.sophie-world.com. I have all kinds of fun stuff there for you. And also links to Facebook, where you can see all of the old episodes of Storytime. And YouTube has them too. But let's say goodbye, shall we? Oh, goodbye, Helen. Goodbye, Danny. Goodbye, Alfie. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Ollie. Goodbye, Shelby. Goodbye. everybody, you have a great weekend. And let's give each other a high five. Here's one, and here's one for you. And if you would like a big hug for the weekend, take one hand, put it on a shoulder, take the other hand, put it on your other shoulder, and squeeze really, 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 really tight. Ugh, that was a big weekend hug. Everybody have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday for more stories. I think it might be a sleepy time Monday. We'll see. Bye, everybody, and thanks again to Lillian and Gabriella and Rosanna for all the fabulous books, and whoever put Minette's Feast out on the street. Thank you. Bye, everybody.